Hi guys, I have a little Jeep 2015 Willys Wheeler that I tool around with in the summertime. I take the doors off it and I fold the top back and I go out to eat with it and ride around and go shooting and whatever. It's my little summer car. I don't go off-road with it. There's no place around here to go off-road, but I use it for just a fun car. And even though I put LED lights all around, I find I have a hard time going through the wooded areas around where I live, and I wanted to put a light bar on the front of the Jeep. So this is in fact part of my bumper of the Jeep. And what I did is I drilled 2 holes on my bumper through this plate, and I mounted a light bar. And I thought after I did this job, it looked real nice, and I thought it looks perfect. I mean, it's below the radiator, it's nice and clean, didn't cost me nothing. But then when I bolted it up and I came up from underneath and I looked at it, I was getting 2 pockets here where the feet were actually pressing into the top of the bumper. Being mostly a plastic bumper, and it didn't like the compression of me bolting this thing up. And I didn't like the way it looked. And I was thinking of maybe taking this piece off and putting some washers underneath it or a plate of steel, and that would have fixed it. But I did go on the internet and I found something that's really, really cool. I found this from a company called Wilco Off-Road, and they call this a Lightbar tow bar. And this is, I make things and I do things and all that, but I never came up with an idea of using the tow hooks on the Jeep to in fact hook up a light bar. This is pretty cool. What it is, they make brackets that goes right around the tow hook. So then you have it's made onto the bar here and on the brackets. Then you have side pieces that just go over with bolts, and you just bolt it right up. They give you a couple clamps that slide around that you're able to adjust to mount lights. On the front they give you a nice 7/8 hole here to put D-rings, so you could have a real hook in the front of the Jeep if you got to pull somebody out, or you got to get pulled out. Or if you have one of those high lift jacks, you can actually jack up the vehicle using your D-ring. So I think this is, and plus it hangs out in front of the vehicle by a couple inches. So if somebody wants to back into you at a parking lot, they're going to hit this before they hit your bumper. So I think this is a pretty cool idea. Whoever came up with this at Wilco deserves a pat in the back, because they're pretty clever to come up with this. I'll demonstrate how it goes on. We're in the garage now, and I did replace this part with the holes that I did before. There's a new piece on there. My Jeep is back to normal with no holes in it. Now let's put this bar on. Just slips over the hooks. Really couldn't be any easier. Put the mating parts on. And don't forget your D-rings. I put a little bit of anti-seize on these things. Now you got a jacking point. Or a point to pull yourself out of a hole. And I like the original bumper on this Jeep because first it's plastic on the end. It reminds me of my AR-15s, that plastic furniture. Matches the fenders. So if I go through some brush or something, I'm not going to scratch the paint. But more importantly, I put a Class 3 receiver on the front, right there. So you can, that's where I put my winch. I placed the Rugged Ridge winch in the receiver, and it's all pinned up. It fits perfectly. The Rugged Ridge electrical box on top has about a 1/4 inch of airspace, so it's not even touching the bar, and it fits real nice. The only thing is the D-ring on the passenger side is touching the cradle for the winch. So either you could ignore it or you could take it off or whatever, but it works fine. And now let me demonstrate the light. Thanks for watching, guys.